was kind of scared of going back to writing. Now, make no mistake, progress was made. Happy that I got back to writing every day. Hello there, and welcome to another vlog. If you don't know me, my name is Maki. You can't see him right now, but here with me is the lovely Michael Scott. And this is the first writing vlog of the year. I have to say that I'm actually very excited for this one because not only is the first one of the year, but also it is quite necessary. And when I say necessary, I really mean necessary because, to be completely honest and transparent with you, I haven't written my novel since the turning of the year. I did, I think, one or two very small writing sprints in the last couple of weeks. But the thing is, ever since I took the holidays off and came back to work and, try to not try to, but like got back to my routine and just getting the hang of it, of everything again. I really focused on content creation and my job, my 9 to 5. So it was a little hard to find time and energy to write my novel, which is not ideal, I have to say. But, there's only one of me, so I needed to prioritize. So, yeah, I'm very excited about this. I have again a writing challenge to complete this week. My goal is to write 10,000 words in 1 week, which is a lot. I am a little intimidated by it, I'm not gonna lie, but I am also excited because I think this will be a great way to not only get back into the rhythm of writing, but also push myself a little bit so that I try to go beyond what I'm used to. Also, thankfully, I already know that this is going to be a more calm week when it comes to work. I don't have that many meetings, I don't have that many events, which is something that happened a lot in the last couple of weeks. So I know that I'll have more time to do things calmly, to do things in my time, and also to add a few more writing sprints here and there. And to start today, I already did a little writing sprint. It was just like half an hour, maybe 40 minutes before I started working. And I hit a little over 600 words, if I'm not mistaken, which is great. I wasn't expecting that, I have to say. But I did reread a few chapters of my novel last week, so I guess the story was a little bit fresher in my mind than the last time that I did a writing sprint when I just like came back cold and it took a little while to get the hang of it again. So yeah, I already started. I'm again going to create a little page in my journal where I can just paint the numbers and keep track of how many sprints I'm doing, how many words I'm hitting in each sprint, and just, have a little pretty page to celebrate when I reach 10K. Hopefully, I'll reach it. Hopefully. Let's see. Also, I have to say that I'm really glad that today is snowing. It's a beautiful snowy day outside. We just came from a very cold weekend here in Montreal. We had feel like minus 30 Celsius temperatures, which was insane, but also I think kind of common here at this time of the year, but I don't remember the last time that we had this since I got here. But anyway, so very, very cold weekend. And today it's really snowy. It hasn't stopped snowing since I woke up, to be honest. So it's snowing since 5 in the morning today. And I just love those days because I feel very cozy and inspired and very excited to do things that are creative and, just more indoors and a little lighter as well. And even though I have a lot to write, writing for me feels like second nature. So I know that once I get a little bit of a kickstart, it just goes on better and better and faster and faster. So I'm excited. Also, I do have a plan on where I want to go with the story, which actually makes it easier. Now, if you're new here, welcome. And if you don't know what my book is about, I'm writing a romance novel set here in the city of Montreal during the summer. I think this is going to turn into a 90s rom com comes draft two, but I'm not sure. So far, I'm doing a discovery draft, meaning I'm discovering the story as I go. I'm just writing and creating scenes as they appear to me. I'm writing the story chronologically, which has been working great for me, but not having a full plan did kind of make me confused during the process, and it did make me stumble into a couple of obstacles that I was having a hard time like overpassing. So I decided to do something about it. I'll talk a little bit more about this in a later moment after I have a little bit more words put in my manuscript and after I have more clarity if that is exactly the path that I'm going to, because everything can change when you're writing. So we'll see. But I do have a path that I want to follow. Let's see if it will stick, and I'll come back with another update shortly. Right now, I'm going to go work a little bit on content creation before I go back to my work. And then I'll try to squeeze a little writing before a meeting that I have at the end of the day and try to write a little bit more at night before I start my night routine and, getting prepped to go to bed. So, yes, that is the plan. I will see you in a little bit. Hello, friends. It is Tuesday. Welcome to another update on this writing challenge. I am very pleased so far with how much I've been writing. This morning, I did another sprint and it went great. I feel like, again, like I said yesterday, all I needed was to get back at it for things to kind of like begin running smoothly again. I really just needed the first push, and now it is going really well. I plan on having another sprint later this afternoon, or maybe like in the evening, perhaps. But I wanted to share a little bit about why it's been so hard for me to go back to writing this book, even though I'm in love with the story. I'm in love with the characters that I'm writing. I know that I'll need to do a lot of work when it comes to draft two and like first revisions and all that. But even so, I'm still very much enamored with the idea of the story that I'm writing. I know that I'll have tons of research to do when I take my writing vacation, and I'll talk more about that when the time comes. But anyway, the thing is, I realized during this time off that I was kind of scared of going back to writing. And I felt this before. It's not the first time that I've been feeling like this, but I was kind of like dreading going back to my manuscript at the same time that I was excited to see the story evolve. But the thing is, this is the first time that I'm taking like a writing project seriously and really trying my best to get to the finish line. At the same time, I'm really trying to enjoy the process and to find, happiness and enjoyment in writing. And I feel like I'm achieving that. I feel like I'm doing that. And the writing challenges have really been helping me. But yeah, I noticed that after my last challenge, right before the end of the year, and after my break, and then coming back to work and to my routine, I noticed that I was kind of dreading going back to writing and going through my manuscript and adding more words and more chapters and just moving forward with the story. The only reason I could come up with as to why I was scared is because I'm actually terrified of finishing. And I know how weird that sounds. I mean, the whole goal of writing a book is to finish writing it and maybe, allow yourself to go through the next phase of the process, which is editing and revising and coming up with draft number 2, and who knows, maybe publishing in the future. But I realized that I was really scared because, to be honest, I never saw a writing project till the end. I kind of like started them and then let them die after a little while, and I did this many times. I feel like finishing says something important about me, and I'm not sure I'm ready to hear it. At the same time, not finishing sounds horrible right now, even though I've let projects go in the past. And not only because I'm using YouTube for accountability and really trying to get through this project the best that I can. But I don't know. Does that make sense? Tell me in the comments if you think I'm crazy. But I'm scared of finishing. I'm scared of finishing and what it means for me and about me. And I also just recently wrote a newsletter on this topic, like talking about on how grief is the result of tying your self-worth to what you do. And it was very powerful to write that because I noticed that my whole life, I thought that the only thing that I could do right was right. Now I'm not so sure. Now I feel like my self worth is tied to a number of things, things that I love, things that I'm working on, things that I'm discovering about myself, and also the things that I do, but just not to the length and with the strength that they had in the past. So I'm really trying to figure this all out and going back to writing, forcing myself to go back to writing and creating like a very challenging challenge for myself is helping a lot. But yeah, I feel like I'm a little scared of finishing and what that means and where I go after I do. And also I'm dreading not finishing it, and just letting it go. That does not sit well with me. So I'm kind of like doing this while trying to figure myself out and make myself understand and enjoy the process. I don't know if I'm making sense. Hopefully I am. But yeah, this is where I am. And also, as I said before, I was a little confused as to where I was going with the story. Doing a discovery draft is really good because it helps you, just take the pressure off, but also leaves you a little like unclear of the objective of each chapter and each scene that you're writing. So last week, at the beginning of last week, I grabbed my journal and I sat down to write specifically what I thought I wanted the story to go through, like what I wanted the story to be, how I wanted the story to end, and the next like landmarks that I wanted to cover for the story to reach the end. So I did that and I felt really good about it because after I finished writing, I was like, okay, this is good. This is clear. I like this plan. And yesterday I said that I was only talking about this if it's stick. If I was actually like writing and following the path that I plan like that day in my journal. And I am. So that's why I feel more comfortable about talking about this now. Otherwise, I would be saying things and just going like, nope, let's throw this out the window. But that's not the case. So yeah, I wrote on my journal. I pinpoint everything that I wanted to cover, how I wanted the story to evolve, how I wanted Andy and Cal to finally get together after everything they went through, and the next few scenes that I really wanted to write. It's going good, it's going well, I'm enjoying it. Okay, he brought his toy with him. Yeah, I've been following it so far and it's going good. Yay, I feel like I said that 80 times since this vlog started, but it is. So I'm happy about it. Like I said, I already did a little sprint. I'm going to do another in the evening or late afternoon. Right now, I need to do a little bit of content creation just before I go back to work. And I feel like it's going to be another very simple, tranquil, realistic day in my life type of video because I don't have much going on today other than just, doing my usual studying after work and writing and going on walks with Michael. Today is a very weird day because it's snowing, but it's also sunny a little bit, but a pretty kind of weird. I feel like I'm just rambling now. But yeah, let's cut this short. Let's stop here. This is the plan for today. This is how it's going. I shared what I wanted to share. I hope if you're feeling scared of writing your book as well, you're not feeling alone right now. We are together. I will hold your hand while you write, and I hope you hold mine as well, and I will see you later.
I just wanna go out on a walk with you. Baby, I just like to talk with you. You don't have to tell me anything that's new. I just wanna go out on a walk with you. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine, sailing over pavement with our two outlines. I like to see the shape you're in from time to time. I just wanna see your shadow next to mine. I just wanna see the same things you can see, understand the meaning on a new degree. Maybe that could happen when you're next to me. I just wanna see the same things you can see.
Hello there. Happy Thursday. I have been MIA since Tuesday evening, I think, because yesterday was a very weird and fun type of day. Because I went to a class, like a fitness class in the early morning, that kind of messed up with my schedule. And I also had a meeting that was way over time. Like it was supposed to go on for like half an hour and it lasted for almost an hour and 15 minutes. So that also messed up with my schedule. So I felt like I was running around the whole day trying to catch up with my tasks and creating content and just doing everything that I needed to do before going into full couch potato mode because yesterday was couch potato day. So I really needed the rest, which meant that I didn't write that much. Now, make no mistake, progress was made. I think I wrote about 600 words in total, a little bit more than that, but it was less than what I was expecting. I really didn't intend for the class and the meeting to disrupt my schedule so much to the point that I wouldn't be able to write a lot, but it happened. What you're going to do about it, right? I only have 2 more days to try and finish this challenge. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make it all the way to 10K. I only have today and a little bit of tomorrow before I have to finish editing this video to upload it on Saturday. So yeah, I'll probably won't be able to hit the full 10K, but I'm still very glad with the progress that I made. And I'm gonna try my best to keep writing until I can, until I have to stop actually, so that I need to edit this video. But I am thinking about maybe extending the deadline to Sunday so that at least I can keep on writing, even though I don't record it and put it on this vlog. But we'll see. Now, something that I also wanted to talk about is that I'm at a stage with my manuscript where I just reached Act 3, right? So I hit 70,000 words this morning, I think. And this means that I need to start actually resolving all the conflicts that I created throughout the plot, right? Throughout the novel. And the exact scene that I'm writing right now is the one that will be the catalyst for my main characters to actually get together. First of all, I'm having a blast because it's kind of like a going to a gala type of scene. So they have to go to this fancy party, and Andy, my main character, she needs to wear like a fancy dress and all that, and she's not used to that because she's a very modern, down to earth kind of woman. And Cal is in full working mode because this is a work event, and just a fun type of scene that I was really looking forward to write. So that's one. But at the same time, I'm very like intimidated by it because I need to like lean heavily into the romance part of the story now. Like this is really a very romance heavy scene, and the next few scenes will be very romance coded as well. But I feel like so far I haven't really mastered the act of like creating tension between the characters and adding little signs and codes that tell the reader how much they are attracted to each other and how much they are drawn to each other. So that's something that's been kind of like a big obstacle for me right now, something that I'm really dealing with because I don't want to be like in your face with the romance part. I really wanted to like escalate in a very subtle and romantic way. And I'm having a hard time doing that, which is why I think I talked about this in an earlier video this year, but I decided to study some romance authors, some contemporary romance authors in this first quarter, right? So the first author that I'm studying is Emily Henry because I feel like she has really mastered how to create the narrative of having two characters meeting each other and then starting to get attracted by each other and then getting really involved until they eventually get together. I feel like this narrative, she really mastered it. And so I'm trying to read all of her books until the end of March so that when I finish my draft, my first draft, because my personal deadline is to finish it by the end of March, when I finish my first draft, I have this whole baggage of studying how to create this narrative that I'll be able to plot my novel and add a lot of those elements into it, right? So far I've only read People We Meet on Vacation. I'm trying to alternate between her summer books and her like not summer books because I don't know, it's the middle of winter and I just really want something cozy and winter coated, I feel like. But anyway, I'm gonna start funny story today. And I've been doing lots of notes, taking lots of notes, highlighting the books whenever I can because I am getting a few from the library, from the public library. So I've been doing my best to like really try to understand what's behind this books and this narratives that she created, and just really trying my best to grasp what is it that makes her books so good and so popular in terms of the romance, so that I can later try to apply like a similar structure to my own writing, right? That's not the only author I'm gonna study. I'm still figuring out who I'm gonna study next. I feel like I wanna go back to the classics, maybe Jane Austen. There's a lot of her work that I didn't read, but my book is also a lot Pride and Prejudice coded. So I feel like maybe she would be a good one to go with. We'll see. Anyway, back to the point. Because I don't feel like I created enough tension between my main characters, right now, when it's time to really go heavy in the romance, I'm struggling a little bit and trying to be very mindful about the scene that I'm writing. So when it comes draft two, maybe it will be a rewrite. I don't know. I have enough to go on, not only to go on but also to like retroactive insert more signals and tension, and those details that makes romance books so good. We'll see how that goes. So far I'm enjoying writing the scene a lot. I think I'll be able to write a lot more this afternoon, maybe early evening, if my schedule at work remains as is, which is pretty clear. I'll try to go to a cafe nearby to write and read a little, maybe study a little as well. We'll see. But just to like change the scenery a little bit and kind of like try to see if being in another environment helps me get more inspired and creative to write a lot more, so that maybe I can get closer to my 10K goal for the week. Either way, I'll catch up with you guys later. I'm now going to get back to my desk, back to work, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Hi, friends. Welcome to Friday. This will probably be my last update for this vlog. And I just have to say that, as expected, I did not reach 10K in 5 days, 4 days, because, well, life happens and I just really didn't have the time or energy to write more than I did. However, I'm still very proud of what I did this week, of the work that I did. So, to give you guys a little update, In total, I wrote 5,351 words in the last couple of days, meaning I went from 59,558 words to a total of 64,909 words. So, yes, definitely reaching the final third of the story, the final push, the final 30%. I'm so happy with the scenes that I'm writing right now. I feel like they're my favorite from the book so far. And as I said, it is Friday, and I did write a little bit this morning. I'll try to write more until the end of the day. But again, I won't be like vlogging and actually recording this. I'll only be writing for myself. Sometimes that's important too. And I'll try to keep the challenge going into the end of the weekend. Maybe I can finish all 10,000 words by then, which would be really nice. But as of now, my page is like, my page in my journal is a little is looking a little bit like I'm just testing out different marker colors, which is fine by me, but I'm gonna finish it up. I'm gonna give it a little touch, make it look a little better to celebrate my success of the week. And I feel like this is it from me. I'm very proud, like I said, very, very proud of all the work that I did. I'm glad that I got back to it because I was really dreading going back to writing this book. I told you this at the beginning of the vlog. And also, I'm just happy that I got back to writing every day, which was something that I was really missing, even though, like I said, I was scared of doing it as well. So, mixed feelings. But anyway, we do what we can. I'm going to keep going. Maybe I'll finish this chapter during the weekend, which would be really nice because this is like a pivotal chapter for my characters, and then just move on from there and keep going with the story. Hopefully, I'll be able to finish this book soon, this first draft. And I'm actually excited because I have plans for like when I won't be writing. I'm calling it my writer vacation. So I'm very excited about that as well. So hopefully I'll get there soon, right, Michael? And that's it from me. So if you like that video, please remember to give it a like and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Until then, keep writing. Bye.